All right, hey everybody out there. We're back, Railroad Radio, episode something. I think 6 or 7. I'll have to look. It doesn't matter. We, first of all, got to give a shout out to Mile High Billiards. They've been so good to me through sponsoring my podcast and sponsoring me over the years. And I want to let you know that I've been talking for a long time about them getting 4 new Gabriels billiard tables in their pool hall. And I was wrong. It was 2 Gabriels. It always was 2. And I just made a mistake. So they finally built the addition onto their room. And they have 2 brand new Gabriels billiard tables. And they built a new addition, and it looks beautiful back there. They really decorated it nice, and they lit it well. And it opens up the room really nicely. It's really beautiful. So they also wanted me to let you know that they changed the prices a little bit. They're open at 11 a.m. every day, 7 days a week. And it's $12 from 11 to 6 p.m. for as much pool as you can play on the billiard tables, the 9-foots, the 7-foots, anything you like. So that's a little bit of an update. It used to be, they used to open at noon, and it was $10 till 6. So now they're open another hour, and they used to charge more for the billiard tables, and now it's even money on those during the day. So there you go, guys. But I've got to say, I'm really excited about this episode today. It's a guy I've been trying to get on the podcast for a long time, local legend, guy I've always looked up to as a player and has won everything around here, won some national titles. We have Tony Piazza on the podcast. Tony, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. Good to be here. Adam, good to be here.
Yeah, man. It's good to have you. Well, I know we've been trying to lock this down for a long time, and I'm not always the best about keeping up on the time. I travel for work and everything. So anyway, I was glad you could finally get down here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here
And,
myself.
You've been playing a little bit recently.
Just a little bit, yeah. Getting back into it. I think we got a team tournament coming up.
We
in
do
Greeley,
next week, right? Into next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Thank you for playing with us, by the way. Last time Tony played with us, we ended up winning a nice little team tournament up in Wyoming. That's pretty sweet. We call Tony the closer. This man
closer.
at the end, he will get it. And that's actually where I wanted to begin, Tony, is, man, you have this style. Anybody that's ever seen you play, you've got this real grinder style. Even the way you stroke, you stay down on the ball a long time. And when you were coming up as a player, is that something you always did, or did somebody teach you that?
I watched, when I started first playing in Minneapolis, I was watching, right away, I was just watching the best players play.
Sure.
And the best player at the time in Minnesota was Jimmy Wetch. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know if you know Jimmy the
Yep,
Kid, Jimmy
absolutely.
the Kid Wetch. And,
Owns a pool hall up there still, I believe,
you
right?
know, if you talk to a lot of old legends, they said Jimmy had the best cue ball in the world, possibly.
Wow.
One of the best cue balls in the world, and just his style and how he, got down on the ball. I tried to just emulate him.
Okay.
Obviously, I couldn't play like him.
Sure,
I shot it into the rail
over
and over and over. But I kind of picked up on how he got over the ball,
Okay.
how he dialed in, everything, and I kind of went from there. And then I had a couple other guys down the road that I tried to emulate also.
Sure. And I always forget that. You're from Minnesota. When did you start playing there?
I think I picked up my first cue my senior year of high school.
Oh, okay. Well, so about 17, 18.
Yep, I was playing hockey and football and baseball, and just never had the genes.
Sure.
I was a little dude,
Yeah.
and I picked up pool, and it was just something you didn't have. There was size wasn't involved, so
Sure.
I was like, oh, this could be cool.
Were you
but
good?
I never played like a solo sport. It was always a team sport.
Sure.
So I kind of had the athleticism and
Hand-eye coordination. and all
hand-eye
that.
coordination and stuff like that, but. It's it's always been about finding the competition, something to compete in.
For me too, I have to be competing. I hate not. Yeah.
Have to be competing.
Yeah. Did you get good pretty quick?
I could say like I could make balls,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, okay. And
Yeah,
I actually played my first game of pool at one of my real good friends. He was my neighbor. We had a little neighborhood that we all hung outside, played all kinds of outdoor activities, and he was the only guy in the whole neighborhood that had a specific room for his billiard table.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we'd go down there, and his dad would come in and say, "Oh, you got to put English on the ball." And I'm like, So then
what's that?
Yeah, spinning the ball.
Sure.
And so it kind of hooked me. I
Sure.
got addicted. I'm
I
like,
know the feeling.
Wow,
Yeah.
you can get better the next day. You're better, and then the next day you're better.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I'm kind of addicted to this because you can just see the improvement without it's you don't see improvement when you go to the gym for months. And
Sure.
I saw improvement in 3 days.
It is nice. It's
Hit
like
balls,
a nice dopamine kick.
Yeah.
Yep. You get it.
And
Yeah.
you get addicted to that feeling.
Sure.
Kind of like, it's just.
Were you already? When did you move from Minnesota then to here?
1993. So
How old were
I was 3 years out of high school. I went to the University of Minnesota for a year and a half.
Okay.
And just kind of, I was doing summer work and working a couple different jobs. And I had a real good buddy that lived in Colorado. And he said, Tony,
Okay.
if you're thinking of a place to go, come on out to Fort Collins. I live here. It's beautiful. And I said,
Oh, so you actually moved to Fort Collins first?
Yep.
Oh, is that where you met Mike?
Mike.
Helmer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I met, Helmer lived in Denver.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
first moved there because the Bensons owned Matchups, which was my home pool room in Colorado.
Oh, interesting.
Spent days there, and then I ended up going to Colorado State University.
Okay,
And
yeah.
taking some classes.
Yeah.
And and then, but that's where I loved it there. I lived there for 7 years before then I moved out to Denver.
Awesome. Okay. When did Mike Helmer pick up Matchups then?
I want to say, I don't know. It was like, I think it was close to 2000 or something.
Okay.
Because when I moved to Denver, the Bensons still owned Matchups.
Oh,
So after I got down
okay.
here, then Mike made, because Mike was a player in Denver. Mike was one of the best players in Denver.
Of course, yeah, still is
Love
one of
Mike.
the best players
Mike's
in our
the
region.
best.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Helmer, by the way, owner of Matchups Pool Hall in Fort Collins. I was just playing up there 2 weeks ago. Fantastic pool hall. He really keeps that place. Him and his wife Nicole really keep
Nicole's
that place
awesome, too.
fantastic. I know, what a great people. I love supporting them, and Mike's a hell of a player.
He's got that grinder too, dude.
Ooh, you guys
He's a
play
bulldog.
similar. You
Yeah,
guys play
he's
very
got
similar.
that grinder. We won a title together in, I think 2007.
Oh,
The team
okay.
tournament in Vegas. Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
gave Mike was the MVP.
You're on Team Doom, right?
Team Doom.
Hold
Yeah.
on, we'll talk about that. I want to
Okay.
because that's Rodriguez speaks
Oh yeah.
fondly of that. Chris McDaniel too.
Another champ. Another champ.
I know that team. Of course, it won. You had all the best players in the whole area. Yeah. So when you moved to Colorado, then you weren't really a champ yet. You were still developing.
Yeah. I always considered like the development or always getting better. I never considered myself at any kind of level. Today I could be at this level. Tomorrow I can be at this level. That's one thing about Minnesota that everybody kind of like everybody was on this ladder kind of system. Like, oh my God, how you're going to beat this guy? He's at the top of the ladder, and I just said fuck the ladder. Like,
Yeah.
there is no ladder.
Fuck the
There's
ladder.
no ladder.
Exactly.
I'll play anybody and everybody, and you can.
Sure.
I mean,
And I love that you said that because that's how I think about my own game as well. Everyone's like, where do you think you rank in Denver? And I'm like, man, I wish you could crawl inside my head and know. I don't even think about it. I know that I can beat everybody if I play good.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, no, that's cool.
If you don't miss, and you're
Yeah.
you put whatever you're doing, and you're doing what Adam does, and you're doing it well.
Exactly.
Who's going to win in your mind, right?
Exactly.
You're going to win.
Do the best.
You're going to beat the table.
You know? Yeah.
And and everything kind of comes to victory when you play good. It's not about beating a guy. It's about playing good.
Sure.
And playing good for playing good for a period of time.
Sure.
Ends up with trophies, money, victory, whatever you want.
Exactly. If you play good enough, that stuff comes. It doesn't always come on the time scale you want, but it does come. Yeah.
Right.
So you came to Denver. You'd been playing a few years, 4 years. And who were your influences when you moved here? Who were the guys?
I'll tell you what, the best player when I first got to Denver, I was in Fort Collins. I didn't explore Denver's action for about 2 years.
Okay, well, you were
Never
still
went down-
developing, though.
never-
You might not have been ready
Yeah.
for that.
Well,
yeah.
they had some legends right in the matchups. I mean,
Sure.
you got Luis Salazar.
Dave Gross maybe was up there. I don't know.
Dave Gross wasn't there yet.
Okay.
But Willie Alvarez, Joe Alvarez was Joe Alvarez was a monster.
Fantastic, yeah.
And stories about and Willie became like my third grandpa.
Oh, okay.
Like he just I love that guy.
Awesome.
Everyone in the pool, all the relationships you get in the pool room with
Of
the older
course,
people, and
man,
they,
you get
they just
really
kinda
tight with
bring
a
you
lot
in
of
like
people.
a family, and they're like, "Hey, how's the kid doing today?"
Yeah.
It's it's a good feeling.
I tell
It's our
people it's a
culture.
subculture.
It is a subculture.
And people really love you, and you love those people, and you get so comfortable in the pool hall that those people sometimes know you better than your friends do. They know you better than your family does. It's crazy.
It is
I
crazy
love
like
it.
that. Yeah, it is. It is cool. So, yeah, I mean,
So you were playing around those guys and
I
coming
was
up.
kind of hustling too. I wasn't really showing my speed when I got to Fort Collins.
Okay. So you played pretty decent then.
I played. I thought I did. I mean,
Oh, yeah, of course.
I was just doing what I was doing.
That's how it always is.
And I was confident with what my package that I kind of had.
Sure.
That what I did, and man, it was kind of funny when I first got there because there was all these myths about if anyone finds out how you play, all these.
Urban legends almost.
Like about gambling, and you got to sneak around a little bit. So I don't know. I'm smoking weed one day in college, and that morning we're watching Caddyshack, and my favorite scene is when Rodney Dangerfield is on the boat. He goes, "Hey, Swanson." So we go to this pool tournament, and it's the first time someone asked me my name.
Sure.
And I'm at I think it was the Diamond Room, or I can't remember, the Fun Center. I can't remember. It was in Fort Collins. It wasn't Matchups. It was the other one. It was like for younger kids, and I said, "My name's Tony Swanson."
You were Tony Swanson,
and so I was Tony Swanson up there for like a year and a half. It was kind of silly.
That's awesome. And, looking back, it's always silly.
I would get ball in hand for that's all I did. I played defense, and I get ball in hand and swing at the 9. I didn't run a rack of pool for 2 years. I get the ball in hand, cue ball wherever the 9 was. I just splashed it around.
Oh my God, you're my worst nightmare.
and I just remember the guy who owned that. I think I can't remember his name, Dan Holcomb maybe or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "You got a very interesting way of playing pool." And I was like, I just said, "Hey man, I try to win on every shot."
I try to win on every shot. You don't know me. I'm a savage. That's awesome.
I was kind of not developing my game at any time during the first couple years. I was just kind of,
you just had a system.
and staying low key and seeing if I get some action in college, extra money, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. So. Yeah.
But then, it picked up and got a little more serious when Denver action kind of came into play.
I was going to say, when did that happen?
The best player, probably in like 95, I went down to Denver for the first time.
Okay.
And Kevin Satterfield.
Oh, yeah. Great
was a
talent.
Machine.
Yep.
Was the kid.
Yeah.
And I had a couple run-ins with him early when I went down there, and wow, I was amazed how pure he hit the balls and doesn't touch rails.
Man, I'm
powerful.
I was so sad that by the time I moved here, he had already kind of stopped playing because everybody told me he played fantastic.
He was legit for sure. Yeah. And we did battle. He spotted me, gave me some weight, gave me a little less weight, and then the last session was even. And anyway, he was awesome.
Awesome.
I don't know. I can say that he was a better pool. Watching him play, he was a better pool player than me. I must have done some different things where I just that give up. I don't have that give up mentality or whatever.
Sure.
But
the one thing I hear about him, and I never met him. I think I did meet him in passing one time, but it doesn't matter. I don't know him. Some people did say he had a little trouble finishing.
I didn't really get to know him enough, but I mean, when our battles went down, I mean, it was always a battle. So I was just always ecstatic when the battle was over and I was on top.
Sure.
I give him all the respect and whatever. It was nothing about who's better. To me, it was who got the money.
Sure. Of course. Yeah.
So
that's another thing I was going to talk. So gambling was always a thing with you, right? If with pool, or with everything. Even at a young age.
When I first started pool, that's kind of how everyone. Hey, you want to play for $5 a game?
Sure, of course. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So of course, you go right into it. Yeah.
I think it's hand in hand, especially over the years when you go on the road. And you're a pool player, and you're not in the top 10 in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been there. How are you going to pay for your trip? You got to get side action,
and you have to.
When you get side action, you're staying in. It's like you're in the gym. It goes hand in hand. The playing for money and the gambling at pool, all the old myths. You're in a seedy. Some places are seedy, but
sure,
it goes hand in hand. You go to a golf course, it's hand in hand. I guarantee. Not to bring bring Tiger Woods into it. When he was coming up, he's at golf courses all around the country, playing for big money.
Of course,
because he's dialing it in.
Exactly.
He's dialing in that pressure. He's dialing in that
winning
level.
mentality. Yeah, that's the thing. Gambling does get this very seedy. Does get this very seedy. Moniker or whatever kind of tag in the game, but yet if there's no other way, well, at least there's not a lot of other ways to build your game to a championship level. You either always got to be in tournaments or you have to be the most disciplined practicer in the world, or you got to match up.
Well, and you have to emulate the pressure.
You do.
Unless you're just some kind of ball hitting
Machine.
Machine that can take that over practicing, and then all of a sudden there's you get down in deep in a tournament, whatever the pressure, whatever the if it's 100 people watching or it's the money, there's a prize.
Yep.
I don't know how you emulate that when you're sitting balls by yourself.
No, and you know how it is. Most people cannot. You get these guys that are great practicers. I mean, how many good players do you know? And I could think of a guy right off the top of my head. Great players, great strokes, fantastic guys. Never win a big event. Never get the cash at the end of the day.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Yep. And
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. And you have to build that seasoning. That seasoning is so important to actually finish the job.
Absolutely.
And
have the scars, dude.
Well, that's the thing. The scar tissue.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
you have to have lost.
I have 100 times more scars than I have, Band-Aids on them.
Exactly.
And victories. I mean,
no, it's crazy. I would talk to a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, you play pool? You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good." Blah blah. And when you start talking about win percentage, though, it's like, yeah, I might win, 2 tournaments a year, 3 tournaments a year. They're that hard.
Right.
And when you do win, it's like, oh, finally.
Yeah, you start going.
I put it all together. Yeah.
And when and a player like your level and pro level, and you're pro. You know what I mean?
No, higher. Yeah.
You go, a season.
Yep.
Without a big win, or
of course,
and you start going, am I going to win again?
Absolutely. And every good
player. And all
player.
of a sudden, this is the new pressure inside your fucking mind.
Yep.
Like, all of a sudden that fucker pops in. You're shooting an 8-ball in the semis. Are you going to win again? Boom! You shoot it in the rail, and you're like, what the?
It's funny you say that. That trophy right there, that Open Championship right there, 2 years. I was on a 2-year dry spell.
I watched. Oh,
I know you were there. You were there at that tournament,
that one.
And I was the same way. I said, am I just not good enough? Did I lose it? Can I ever do it again? And of course, then you get pretty damn tight at the end of the tournament that way. Man, it is. People don't realize it.
And that's self-doubt, or in a solo sport.
Yep.
Like when I was quarterback, when I'm playing, there was nothing in my mind when I know the play. The play's called. I drop back. It's instinctual.
You do what you do.
I'm throwing a pass. I'm timing it. There's no talk in my head.
Sure.
There's no talk when I'm coming down the ice and I'm on a breakaway.
Yeah.
It's instincts.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're playing pool, and all of a sudden there's another dude inside. There's the guy talking to you, and he likes to talk to you at these crucial times.
At the most horrible times.
And you're like, what the?
He's like the worst friend ever.
I hate this motherfucker. This
it's
guy's
true.
The worst.
Yeah, your inner voice is just like this little bastard. It won't leave you alone.
That guy has to be tamed.
Yep.
That guy has to be worked on.
And the only way to kind of put him back in the box is to have that experience.
Yep.
To know it. You have to get down on that ball, and that little voice says, "Oh man, it's always a can we really do this?" And you're like, "Oh, shut up, bitch! Yes, we can do this. We're fine. We're fine. We've done this a million times. Let's go."
Stand up, reset, get rid of that guy. Yeah, for sure.
No, absolutely. So, Tony, you won a VNEA national championship, the 9-ball, the Masters, right?
I did not win that. I won. Here's the deal with the VNEA. I won an open team tournament.
Yep.
That was the best. That was probably the best pool moments in my life, just because.
Who was on that team again?
692 teams, and it was the
great.
double dip. We double dipped a professional team from Spain.
Really?
With me, it was me, Manuel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Who's my brother from another mother.
The guy's
James
awesome.
Hilzer.
Yeah.
I mean, those were the 2 kids up and coming from Greeley who moved over to Fort Collins on our team. So they were just outstanding. I mean, just no fear. Loved them.
Awesome.
And then you had me, and then the other 2 guys are from our local bar matchups. Yeah. Steve Ashron and
I know it's brutal when you have to think of it off the
Eric
top of your head.
Baumgartner. Eric Baumgartner.
Okay, I don't know him.
Fitness freak back in the day. Biker, it just looked like a fitness guy.
Sure.
But you could, he had that competitive edge also. And we went out there and just went on a journey together, and
that's so awesome.
Just took our axes out and chopped trees
down.
Chopped
wood.
Chopped it all the way to the finals, man. It was sweet.
That's cool. Double dipped the team.
Double dipped Team Spain, who now David Alcalde
Oh.
is the world 9-ball champion.
And he was on that team?
He was on all of them are professionals now. I can't remember.
Oh, my God.
I know Alcalde was.
Sure.
And
David Alcade, yeah.
Yeah. Went down to the last game of both sets. It was the most exciting shit.
What? It
you've
went
ever
hill,
seen.
hill, both sets?
Both sets.
Oh, my God.
Exciting shit. So won that, and then in 2007, Team Doom
Oh, okay.
with Robert Rodriguez, Helmer, Chris McDaniel, and
What, Manuel there, too?
Manuel Gonzalez.
Yeah, Manuel was there, too. I moved here in 2008. So when I moved here, they were talking about you guys. Oh, Team Doom. They smashed it, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't know any of you guys at the time.
Yeah, it was solid.
That's cool.
It was fun.
Yeah, and you guys did Resume the Doom, didn't you?
Resume the Doom. But we did not resume the Doom.
Yeah.
In the end, story there. And then as far as singles went, I took second in the 9-ball.
Oh,
and
I
I
thought
took
you were. Okay.
third in the 8-ball.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's good, too.
And that was, for the VNEA. And BCA, had some cashes, whatever.
Sure. Yeah. No, tough business out there. Anybody that has ever finished in the top 5 in one of the big national events, you know how hard that is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The grind
is intense.
It's like a box just squeezing on you. But if you embrace it, it's the greatest thing ever.
Embrace the grind.
Embrace the
Absolutely.
grind.
I love it. Especially when it's working for you,
Man.
and you're right in your rhythm, and you're doing exactly what you need to do. It's like hitting all the right marks,
Hey, there's nothing more exciting than going deep in a big tournament.
It's great.
And being in total control and all of your game.
Yes, of yourself.
Some of my best practice sessions have been at the going deep in tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
When you go get take your matches in an hour and you go lay the balls on the table and just getting dead fucking pop.
Absolutely.
And you can't wait to flip the coin.
Sure.
Can't wait. Pool room practice doesn't even. It's not even the same.
Close.
You just beat a ball on the rail.
Yep.
There's no beating the balls on the rail when you go deep in a tournament. That's how you got there.
Yep.
And you're right there. You've been there for 3 days or 2 days.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. When you're on like the 3rd or 4th day of a big tournament, and you realize, like, gosh, before the tournament, you're thinking about it. Can I do it? Am I ready? Or who am I going to draw? Et cetera. And then you're there. You're on the 4th day, 3rd day, and you're like, fuck, I'm here. I did it. Finish it.
Yeah.
That's it's a good feeling.
Self-confidence, the momentum, just everything is, you're ready. It doesn't matter who that guy is because you're playing how you expect yourself to play and your preparation and everything. So it doesn't matter. You're ready to play perfect.
Exactly.
So let's go,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's something that I wanted to ask you because I don't know, and maybe you already said it. What are some of your proudest wins, man? What have you done that you really look back on? And
Well, the Collegiate National Championship, the 2 back-to-back when I was in CSU.
Oh, awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it either. I went down to Student Union and they got pool tables. I'm like, what?
No, I mean, I
Look
didn't know
at
you
this.
won. I played it too when I was in college.
Yeah. So I went down there and I was like, and someone right away said, yeah, they got a tournament that you can go to the Nationals. I'm like, sign me up. Where's that at? I don't know. So they had a little local deal.
Yep.
And I think they take the top 2 or 3, and then you go to the regional. And that first year, it was kind of new. I was excited. It was nerve-wracking. But, when you get there, it's not the same. There's the people going to college. So I was kind of like a pool player going to college.
Yeah, moonlighting in college.
Exactly. So you got actual college students. But anyway, we went to the regional, which was at Metro down here.
Okay.
And then you had to win that.
Yeah.
So you won that, and then that was the local Metro. They held it at Metro. Then the winner of that, one of them goes to Arizona State.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm like, cool. I get a little trip to Arizona State University.
Absolutely.
And I remember feeling the heat there, getting down to the finals, and I'm like, they only take one winner, goes to Gainesville, Florida, to play in the 16-man field around the country. And so,
awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. So I was happy about that, and then I won that, went to Gainesville, and won that tournament. And
that's awesome.
And that was cool. One of the prizes was an entry fee to the U.S. Open 9-ball, even though we were playing 8-ball at the time. So that was ended up being my first pro tournament.
That's awesome.
And that was crazy cool.
I bet.
Crazy cool.
What was that, 94 or something?
95, I believe, 1995. I
Okay.
think I won and then I won the next whatever. But that first tournament, when I went to the U.S. Open,
Sure.
this is probably my top 2 favorite matches of all time, as being playing in pro tournaments.
Yeah.
I draw Steve Mizerak.
Oh,
My
really?
first, and Steve Mizerak's a legend.
You drew him first?
First.
Oh, that's
and
brutal.
I'm a nobody. I'm an absolute nobody.
That's awesome.
So when they draw the board, everyone's coming in, and the pit at the U.S. Open's just like, it's like Augusta, Georgia. To me.
Sure.
It's like the Masters
Yep.
of golf. It's
Yep.
beautiful. 9 tables lit, stands all
Sure.
around. I'm all excited.
That's
Steve
awesome.
Mizerak.
Wow.
Draw
First
Steve
round.
Mizerak, and match times, whatever my match time was.
Yeah.
You get into the pit, you go into the pit, and I'm putting, I'm getting my cues out, and I'm getting ready, and I put all my stuff on the one chair,
Yeah.
and I get a tap on the shoulder. They don't even know my name. It's like, excuse me, are you playing here? I'm like, yeah, I got a match.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this is Mr. Mizerak's chair. And so I look at his chair, and I look at my chair, and that thing is 2 feet wider than my chair. Oh. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm already.
Okay.
Because he's pretty big at the time.
Sure.
So
You
I
got
was
real
like,
big, yeah.
So anyway,
They had
I
him
was
a
just,
bigger chair,
I
though.
just
That's
remember that, and I
hilarious.
was like, I've already gave him ball. Like I've already messed up because I was so nervous. Anyway, my very first match, it was a battle. There were some mistakes made on both sides, and at this time, Mizerak's big now. So he had to use the bridge a lot. He was belly hooked a lot.
Oh, wow.
So I started. I pushed out in a couple spots off
Yeah,
the break.
absolutely.
Where this guy had to use a bridge, and it was like he's looking at me, you little cocksucker.
How'd
Like
you
pushing
do?
into the open where he had to use a bridge. You know what I mean?
That's great.
Usually you're ducking
Yeah.
and stuff. Anyway, long story short, I got my nerves, battled through it, and finished the deal. I won 11-9.
Wow.
My very first match. And
That's awesome,
after I'm
man.
done,
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there. I got goosebumps.
Of course,
My
you're
energy.
sweating,
I
yeah.
just won my first pro match against
Yeah.
Steve Mizerak. He leans down right next to me and says, "Now you can go home and tell everyone you beat the fucking Miz." And I said, couldn't tell if he was pissed off or what.
No.
And I looked at him. I said, "I am going. It's the first thing I'm going to do."
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh fuck! It was cool.
Well,
It
now you
was
just
cool.
told all kinds of people, so that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
What
cool.
a cool match. So yeah, did you keep going or did you go 2 and
I
out?
ended up winning. Next guy was a total scrub.
Total
Total scrub.
Oh, man,
at
that
the
does-
U.S. Open there wasn't
It
because it was
doesn't
open.
happen anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like 11-2. I won, but he was a scrub.
Sure.
And then my next match was Jim Rempe.
Oh, right in Jim's prime, kind of, or
Jim-
right a little after his prime, but still when he's a
Jim,
real
I
force.
think I played Jim Rempe. I might have won 3 matches, and because I know I lost back to back, or I won 2, lost 1, won 1. I think I won 3 and lost 2. So I can't remember who else I had in that one.
But Jim played good on you, though, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like watching the legend play. You know what I mean? It was like
Sure.
I was there to watch. And because I have no experience to fall on right now. And I have experienced, like, when you go to a tournament, I'm not a sideshow anymore. I'm
Of course.
actually there to win.
Yeah,
It took
yeah.
me a while to figure that shit out.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're getting beat down and you're like, I'm just one of these guys punching bags.
Yep.
Anyway, and then Jerry Slivka, which was one of the best young players in the country at the time.
Wow.
And that was weird because I actually got a side bet that I got 2 on the wire in a tournament match and 6-5 on the money. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. Well, now I'm trying to beat the spread.
Sure.
I'm in this match trying to beat the fucking gambling spread.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking about winning the match,
Instead
I'm
of
like, what a
winning.
shark.
Right?
Like,
That is.
What a
Shark
shark.
yourself.
Oh, my God. I'm trying to get to 9.
Dude,
That
that
no way you
takes
get
a
that.
while, too. Like when you're betting on the side on your own matches, it takes a while to be able to do that and have it not affect you.
Right.
You know, that's a whole skill, you know.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I did it a lot, like coming up, like if whoever wanted to bet, I would,
Mm-hmm.
and I stopped doing it. I'm there to win a pool. This is a total different.
It's a mind fuck.
It's a total different entity of if I'm betting or am I playing a tournament. Fuck, we're already gambling. I already put an entry fee in to a big pool tournament. I'm already gambling. If there's a Calcutta, everything. So unless I got the stone nuts.
Well, of course.
Unless unless one of these B players comes up and says, "Hey, you want to bet 100?" Yeah, I do. So,
Yeah,
but-
it turns out I would like to do that. Yeah.
but I kind of dropped that whole thing about it. You know, I'd ask people if they wanted to bet, side bet, and it kind of wasn't. I kind of got away from it. It just, I don't think it belongs in tournaments I mean,
Well, like-
there's side betting going on the side, but to ask your opponent to bet, kind of mentally fuck them before,
Exactly.
or trying to lay it down on them. I think it can turn into a move.
It does. And when people ask me to do that in matches, unless I'm, once again, unless I know I'm a heavy favorite, I always say no, just because I don't want to think about it. Just I don't want to think about it. And then sometimes you crush the guy, and you're like, I should have bet, but you're like, you know what? Maybe I crushed him because there was nothing on my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's things that can,
Big time.
I think when you're in there to win a tournament, that's what you should be focused on.
Exactly.
When the tournament ends, flip a coin.
Sure.
We can flip a coin. Tomorrow, the next day. We're in a tournament now. It's different. I'm in a different box. I'm in a different area where I'm comfortable. Don't need a gamble.
No, big time. So when was your son born then, Tony? I know it's kind of a subject change, but that had to be a turning point in your life, I'm sure.
Yeah, 2003.
2003. Okay.
Yep.
So you've been playing a long time.
I quit for about three years after he was born.
Really?
I mean, I might have played like a weekly tournament.
Sure,
once, but I totally quit.
Once you've been playing all the time, when you play once a week, it's quitting. That feels like quitting.
Totally quit.
Yeah.
For a little bit there.
Okay.
And it was on and off about, when he was born and doing the dad thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. No, good. It seems like you guys have a good relationship. I mean.
Yeah. I love my kid.
And you said he stays with you now mostly?
Yeah. Me and his mom are best friends. I got lucky there.
Good.
I got lucky there.
Man, that's awesome to hear. I didn't know how to segue into that.
Yeah. Jana's the best, dude. She's a great woman. She's a great mom.
Still lives here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We live about a mile from each other. Yeah, she's cool. We shoot the shit.
Oh, you live about a mile from each other?
Yeah, close to Anthony's school. He goes to Dakota Ridge.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
It is crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy that he's 15 now.
You have no idea.
He is 15. And I'm almost 50. So
wow.
It's crazy.
You're almost, 50?
Almost 50.
No, you're not. How old are you?
40. I'm going to be 47.
Wow.
No, 48. I'm going to be 48.
Holy cow, man.
Am I? I think 47.
You think 47? Could somebody get
42?
on Tony's Facebook and tell him how old he is?
That doesn't exist. I'm on Facebook.
No, I'm just kidding. That's funny. Well, crazy, man. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Well, good, though. No, good. I'm glad. I know that'll change your life. It'll certainly change your pool game, change everybody's.
Yeah.
And you start thinking about,
You grow up quick and, I think you become a better person. Because I've been
Sure.
Most of my pool life, the cockiness, being, I look back at myself. I was a shitbag.
Sure.
Talking shit to people and shit.
Well,
I was part of the competition,
Sure. No, and it is. There's a little bit of
whatever.
You have to learn the banter.
Sport. And if you don't think you're the best, you're behind the ball, dude. If you don't think you believe in yourself playing a game of pool or golf, you're behind.
Sure.
You got to have 100%
you have to believe in yourself, and you have to make your opponent a believer in you too.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Right.
This guy is the best. He is better than me. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But no, that Tony, that leads me to something else though. Talking about the kind of the sins of your past. I mean, we had talked a little bit about this before the podcast, but you sort of famously have had an issue with drugs. Your whole career in pool, at least, and when did that start? When did your relationship with drugs?
Well, when I
about?
first moved to Colorado, everyone's smoking weed.
Sure.
So
nothing really before that, not really.
But I really don't consider weed that like
no.
drug.
Yeah,
it's legal now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Alcohol opens up everything, bro.
It does.
Alcohol opens up everything.
It does.
So there was no problems with anything until alcohol. And
interesting.
So my family has a little bit of history with the alcoholism. So I don't really have excuses for that. I guess it's in. They say alcoholism.
Hey man, if it's in your blood, it's tough to fade sometimes.
But hey, I can't really pinpoint the exact first time, but I know that after 5 or 6 trips to the East Coast, or wherever the tournaments you're going, and the late night action. So your late night action, 2-3 in the morning.
Yep.
And this might go on till 9 in the morning. This might go on till noon. You're playing a big headset. You're playing a big headset. And you're rolling with a couple dudes, and they're betting on you, and they're like, dude, you need to take this. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I don't know, I've never done anything like that. So what's going to happen? You're not going to miss a ball. That's what's going to happen.
That's the promise.
Okay, so I think it was like late 90s. There was a pill that was going around the country called Disoxin. Disoxin.
I never heard of that.
It's speed, but it's
Okay.
like whatever. So they called it the 9-ball pill back then. So,
Nine-ball pill.
and I was scared to take anything really.
Sure,
I was,
sure. It's scary at first. Yeah.
First time I
absolutely.
ever did it, I was in Olathe, Kansas.
Really?
Olathe, Kansas, and it was late night, and the action was around. Grady Matthews in there, Jeremy Jones, Gabe, Scott, all the champs, and I can't remember. One of my buddies was like, "Dude, take half this pill."
Sure.
And I was like, "Oh, dude, what is it? Do I need to eat?" I'm freaking out.
Yeah,
I'm asking all
yeah.
these questions. There was no Google back then.
Of course,
I
yeah.
couldn't Google the shit.
You just have to listen to
so
your
I was
idiot
like,
friends.
yeah, this is my pharmacist now.
Yeah.
My best friend is now my idiot friend is now my pharmacist.
Sure.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, no shit. Take this. I see, I can hear a gnat flying around the room across the room. I can fucking see the gnat's ass from 18 feet away.
Yeah.
So you can see this little speck on the ball where to hit it.
Sure.
Everything, and it was smooth too, compared to everything else down the road.
Sure.
But you took it and you win matches with it, and you're alert, and your late night battles are now more even because you find out everyone else is doing it.
Sure.
Or not everyone, but the majority of people
of the
are
best
taking
guys.
something that they're away. Kind of like Adderall.
Sure.
But Adderall wasn't back then.
Of course.
It was Ritalin for kids that had ADD in
Yep.
school, which I have a crazy story about Adderall, Ritalin.
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay, we'll talk about that next.
Yeah, I win that night. I played Jeremy Jones. We break even playing $1,000 sets. I don't drill. Grady Matthews. I'm on this Disoxin.
Yeah.
Whatever. And people are gathering around, but it's super focused.
Sure.
I was focused. So I beat him hill, and then we played a couple more sets. I win a couple thousand.
Nice.
Off Grady, which was
Yeah.
cool. He's a legend.
Of course, super legend.
And now, being in that kind of scene, you hear from a lot of people that, man, you did it all wrong. You're supposed to, if you're that good, you're supposed to kind of beat around the guys in the back, and then find out who has the money, and then get there. And so I was like, yeah, I didn't really have anyone kind of give me the play by play on how to do all that shit.
Yep.
So, and then other plays came into you putting stuff in your coffee, speedballing, whatever, and it got ugly. It didn't get real ugly, but when you wake up 3 weeks later and you're going to practice, and now you want to take half a Disoxin,
Sure.
for no reason at all. I just woke up, I had breakfast, and now that's when you step back and you're like, okay, here we go. What's really going on here?
Exactly.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
This was just kind of warfare for the nightly action to be on the same level as my opponent.
It was
in
a
every
tool.
pool room. It was a tool.
It was a tool, but now it's something else.
Yeah. And and I didn't know how to control any of those beasts. Like I didn't, because I didn't know. All I knew was I played better pool. I thought when I was on whatever, kind of like weed when you first smoke weed.
Oh, sure.
Like the false sense of you think you're playing great, even when you're not. Like that's the only drug that you can think you're playing good, and you're not. You're like, oh, I'm hitting them good.
I do not have that experience with it. I definitely look at them. I'm playing worse.
Yeah, I figured that out right away. I'm like, I don't know, man.
That's funny. I can't play high at all.
A lot of people are like, hey, I'm playing great.
A lot of people play
high?
great
Yeah,
high.
I'm high.
Great
I'm like,
high.
I
They
could
play
tell.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my thing with that is with the weed, because it kind of goes in cycles, you sort of rise and fall. You don't play good for a long time. You play good like in these moments, but it doesn't have the staying power.
Right.
I notice anytime I play a guy that smokes all the time, I kind of always know or feel like I can outlast him. I'm like, nah, I'm going to get you eventually. You're going to miss balls. You're going to make errors, But it's not the same on uppers, though. Guys on uppers, I've been outlasted by so many
pool's
people.
not a downer drug at all. I mean, it's an upper drug. It's a focus drug. I mean, you have
Exactly.
to focus
But now
for
people on
a long period of time.
Yeah, people on Adderall and Coke, I've been beat by so many people because I was trying to do it on the natch, and you just, sometimes you can't,
Right.
you
watch guys that do that, and they're obviously playing worse because they're too amped up, and they don't have their mix right. And,
that's what you hope for when you're not on anything. You're hoping that guy goes too far or runs out or something, and because then it turns into a disaster for them.
Sure.
And you just beat the crap out of them. But if they're right, it's tough business.
Yeah, it's like you're playing a monster.
Yeah, it's tough business.
Who the fuck is this?
Yeah,
guy?
exactly.
Oh, he's on this and that and that and that.
Yeah,
and this.
yeah. So you started with this Disoxin, which is basically speed, and once you get on that upper sort of train, that transitions to other uppers.
Yeah. I mean, and now, Adderall is they're giving it to kids.
Oh, everybody.
Or people with ADD, okay?
It's crazy. You said you had an Adderall story. Tell me
the Ritalin.
Or Ritalin story.
Which Adderall didn't exist yet.
Of course. Yeah, sorry.
So Ritalin, they're given to third graders.
Sure.
I
took it when I was I was like 9 years
crack.
old. Yeah.
They're giving
Ritalin to third graders
because the teacher's too boring or they're picking their nose. They can't focus, so we're going to put this kid on drugs.
Because they're acting like kids. Yeah.
First of all, I'm big. I'm against it. I'm against giving kids anything.
Exactly. It's
Dude,
insane.
I only hands-on experience. I go to the Hubert Cup or the big tournament in Minnesota, and my wife-to-be at the time, her nephew was on Ritalin.
Okay.
He's 8 years old. 8 years old.
Just tripping.
Well, I don't know.
Kidding.
I mean, I like the kid, but he's taking Ritalin when he goes to school.
Okay, yeah.
So I said, Jenna, get me 2 Ritalin. Just get me 2 from,
Sure.
from the kid. Because I want to see what this is.
Yeah, I want to test it out.
She gets him. I go to Minnesota. And I didn't take him for the tournament.
Okay.
I didn't take him for gambling.
Okay.
So I get put out of the tournament, the main tournament, which my boy Jamie Pluta took down.
Oh, yeah, I've met him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, it was 5,000 first. That kid was, he's like a brother to me too.
He plays good, smooth stroke.
He crushed that tournament. Anyway, here comes the winner-take-all 8-man tournament, single elimination. It was either, I think it was either $500 or $800 entry. Either
also,
one.
pretty high entry,
I can't
though,
fact check,
especially for that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the perfect time. I just got put out of the tournament. I'm a little on tilt. This is going off. Can't remember, but there was 8 champs from the country, bar table, whatever. I remember Gabe was in it. 2 dudes from Wisconsin, monsters. Lee Hugh Wagon was in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, went to the bar. We were drinking after we went out. Had 3 beers.
Sure.
And I said, "Here's the time. Let's see what this does.
Yeah.
See what the Ritalin does." Boop, popped him. I didn't miss a fucking ball. The whole time, my mouth. Okay, I could feel the drug.
Really?
Oh my God, with the beer, maybe it acted a little different with the beer.
Maybe, yeah, with the
maybe
booze,
because the kid's not in 8
So
years
he's
old,
not
he's not drinking beer,
goes,
so maybe it had a little different reaction.
Okay.
But the dry mouth.
Really?
And a little bit of paranoia that everybody knows that I'm fucking wired. So I had to battle that a little bit. My mouth was so dry. I mean, I felt like Danny Medina. Licking my lips and shit. No disrespect to Danny Medina. Danny Medina's a motherfucking champ.
Yeah.
But he did lick his lips. I always said he could have got Carmex as his sponsor and he would kill it.
He famously licked his lips all
Chapstick.
the time. Yeah.
He could have got chapstick and just been the poster boy. Anyway, so the Ritalin.
Yeah.
Man.
So you're pumped up.
Big money on the line. Never thought I didn't miss a ball, bro.
So you won the whole thing?
Just went into, just played like a monster. Like there was a different monster in my body, and he came out to play. And so I was like, "Whoa, man!
Yeah.
Whoa, my nephew is taking this shit."
So you stole all
8.
this. You stole all his pills.
What's he doing?
Didn't you? You stole his pills.
No.
Oh, no.
That was I never went back to the Ritalin.
Really?
Just did it that one
that's
time.
Surprising. Oh.
And well, I mean, there was other adult stuff.
Sure.
So the Ritalin to me was like for actual prescribed to 8-year-olds, which I couldn't fucking believe. I still can't believe it.
That's wild.
I remember when Anthony was in my son in elementary school, 3rd grade. That was the only teacher we've ever had a problem with him and her. And we meet with the principal, and she suggests this. She suggests that we put our kid on my babe Jana. Oh my God, she came on fucking glue.
Really?
What the fuck did you just say?
Sure.
You just said you want to put my kid on drugs.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, so here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, you open the box.
But you got her, and she's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And she's right. You're not even a doctor. You're a fucking 3rd grade. Nothing against teachers.
Nothing against
but
teachers.
You're a 3rd grade teacher, and you think my kid needs drugs.
Sure.
Wow. So
that's crazy.
But it's just speed, you know. And then my first thing with Adderall, it's kind of. Well, the first time I did Adderall was a long drive. I said, dude, I don't want to, because my kid, I'm traveling with Anthony. He's still in the back seat. I said, what does it do? Like, you're not going to fall asleep at the wheel.
Sure.
So I took it as a safety. Like,
Sure.
It as a safety.
Yeah, I've taken Adderall like
I'm driving
that before.
16 hours, and boom, it was smooth. Never ever yawned. It was like a time release kind of deal.
Sure.
And I was like, cool, man. I wasn't jittery. I was cranking tunes, singing.
Yep.
And I could tell I was a little wired.
Yep.
But it was, I'm a better driver, I feel like, than
Sure.
not like,
Yeah.
drinking, but Adderall.
Of course.
Then now that's around. Now you can take whatever your dose is. I mean, I have a ton of friends in the pool road from around the country that have got really mixed up on this, whatever it is, mixing pills, doing speed. And they're, next thing you know, pool's not their mainstream anymore. It's, where am I going to get high, man?
Exactly.
It's fucking gross.
Yeah, we have, we have some mutual friends that have been down that road way too far, and ruins them. Ruins you eventually.
I mean, it can snatch you, man. It can snatch you. It can take control of things that you don't have control over.
Sure.
Like pool is like the perfect world for those drugs to pop up in, man.
Yeah.
Because we have to gamble to make money to go to the next town, man.
Sure. And you need to be
one's gambling
focused.
at 2 p.m. They're at work or they're sleeping.
Yep.
They're getting ready to play you at midnight.
Yeah.
They're going to play till the next day at noon. So
exactly.
It fight warfare with warfare. It wasn't that I, was looking to get high.
No, of course, I
understand. Stemmed out from trying
and
to
it turns
equal the playing field.
Turns into a different thing.
Yeah.
So when did you think you had kind of gone too far with the drugs?
Recreational use, going out drinking, partying.
Yeah.
Benders 2-3 days.
Sure.
I mean, it's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Crazy stories. A lot of people have been there. They know.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Can't get into too much detail.
Of course. Yeah. No.
But it's very prevalent, and then I heard, I heard about this at a lot of golfers, dude. A lot of golfers take a half a pill to calm their nerves down. And they have mixes like, a quarter of a Xanax, anxiety, calm that down. And then when they need to get pumped up, when they need to dial it in, it's it's an Adderall
Sure.
But these days, this health and fitness kick that everyone's on.
Yep.
There's a lot of natural adrenaline and natural vitamins and all this kind of stuff.
Well, that's one thing that people I think
you can take confidence in and use it as your drug.
Sure. Well, people bury their heads in the sand though when it comes to professionals that they see on TV that those guys aren't doing any drugs. It's insane. It's insane. It's the most naive thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. And then, what's his name? The bicyclist that got busted. The most famous bicyclist.
Oh, the guy who chopped one of his nuts off.
Yeah. Yeah. Neither of us could say his name.
I was going to say Greg LeMond, but that was the guy. That was the best bike guy. Dude, he was in Dodgeball.
Yeah,
he was in Dodgeball. The fucking, what's his name?
Come on.
Google that motherfucker.
I would say we're
gonna get
everyone listen to this can be
everybody knows who that guy is.
His name is exactly this, and
dude, he was doping.
Yeah, but he said
they stripped all his.
But
Tour
then
de
he
France
said he goes,
away.
I was doping because everyone else is doping. He goes,
Right.
you have to do it. What is it, 7-time champ?
Dude, how come we can't spit his name out?
Because we're ridiculous. I don't know. 7-time champ of that race in France. Man, I don't know shit. What's that? The bicycle race in France. Tour de France. Tour de France. There we go. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, Tour de France winner. Here we go. Lance Armstrong.
Damn, dude.
Lance
How do we
Armstrong.
not know
We are
Lance Armstrong?
ridiculous.
Dude.
We're ridiculous people. Yes, Lance Armstrong. He famously came out and was like, yeah, I was doping. Everyone's doping. And guess what? Everyone's still doping. He
People
goes,
just
and
have
they're better.
more higher tech to cover it up.
They got better at it.
Yeah, they got better at it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Look who's not in the Hall. They're going through it right now. Every year at this time, Baseball Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Alex Rodriguez, the 3 greatest pool players. They don't play good pool.
They don't play good pool. Yeah.
The greatest baseball players of literally the 90s. It's not even close. Their stats, and they weren't even. They can't get in the Hall of Fame, man. They were because the voters said they're cheating.
Sure.
They still had to hit a 98 mile per hour fastball, 400 feet, and then Roger Clemens still had to strike the best hitters in the league out. But because they were on some focused or
whatever,
or PEDs they call it.
Yeah. Performance enhancing drugs.
So,
Yeah.
you know, there's a joke in the pool world. You know, you're playing a guy and he's PEDing you, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"This ain't fair. I need
Yeah.
my PEDs, man."
I've been PED'd. Yeah, I can say a name we both know. I just recently got PED'd.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's all good. Yeah, it happens. But no, you at least seem to me to have sort of rounded a bend, maybe, you know, on your extracurricular activities.
Yeah, you know, there's been a couple different rounds, like you
I'm
just
sure.
said. There's been, I came back into it because, man, I love to party, man.
Of course,
I love to have a good time
because it's great.
I love to have a good time, and you know, I have trouble finding that off switch.
Sure.
My on switch, just like perma on switch. So
You're a perma on switch kind of guy.
you know,
Yeah.
and I've been real fortunate that some, you know, things in life have always grounded me, and good friends. My faith, it's not, I don't, you know, proclaim to be a huge, I don't talk about religion a lot, but I
Sure.
have faith, and
Absolutely.
that's kind of helped me out. And then, you know, some really good people around me that have taken me out of, you know, those roundabouts, you call it.
Sure.
And,
Well, I
and
think
I'm just
Tony,
fortunate. And my
that-
son, and
Of
you
course,
know, and waking
Anthony.
up, and you know, that's what's the main ground that I've had. And
Sure.
I did most of my curricular activities before I had my kid.
Sure.
And you know, I haven't. So it's you know, you just gotta stay strong and go to meetings. Meetings help.
Yeah.
For alcohol.
So you do like that?
Yeah. Yeah. So they help. They help a lot.
Good.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
I'm sure it is. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think everyone supports you, Tony, because you are a champion, and people see that in you, and not just at pool, but you're a smart guy. You know, you go out there and you battle hard, and people respect that. You know, people
thank you.
respect that, and your reputation in the pool world is always just someone that's so hard to beat. Even when you play bad, you're hard to beat because you'll keep on trying.
Yeah.
You'll keep on fighting, and so many people. There's a lot to be learned there. Because I know, you know, every pool player knows this. When you get weak, you know, and you do, you know, actually I'll steal a Teddy Atlas line, an old Mike Tyson trainer. He's like, when you do weak things all the time and then you're asked to do a strong thing, you know, how are you supposed to be strong when you've done these weak things and you know that's who you are?
Right.
You know, but you always are doing the strong thing, on the pool table at least. You know, you're fighting. And oftentimes, even if you never find the real gear you're looking for, you can squeeze across that finish line. You know, and that's important. That's important
Done
in
that a
life.
lot. I've done
Of
that a
course.
lot, not being the best pool player.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
That's how I've won
Like,
everything I've ever won.
Honestly, I feel that like a lot more than people think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm the best pool player in the ring.
Sure.
Or whatever. More than half the time.
Sure.
I just feel like what you just described is one of my attributes, is like that grind mentality.
Yep.
And because I feel like if you keep grinding, the next shot could be the one where I just drop and now you're gone. Now you're done.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the next shot could put me in that where I want to be. So if I keep working and working and working, even though I'm struggling, I feel like the next shot could be the one to get me there.
Sure.
And if you're struggling, I always did this, like, if I'm struggling, I'll start off playing a lot of defense, playing 9-ball. Trying to get the speed down to the table.
Sure.
So I long roll down safeties. I'm actually creating something for myself here. I'm creating my speed control. I'm not going to shoot balls yet, because that's the worst way to sell out, when you miss just hangers or miss ball and hand shit.
Sure.
So people were like, he didn't shoot at that. Well, I'm getting my 2 rail back behind the stack over here. I'm trying to get the speed down. It's just, I think speed's everything. And everything.
Frustrating your opponent as well.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And getting into it like that, and then getting your momentum with the speed, getting the speed down.
Well, and when you keep fighting the guy, and you've seen this 100 times, I know I have too, sometimes you'll just break a guy all of a sudden. And he won't look like he's broken. He won't look like he's gave up. But in his heart,
Dude,
that killer in him,
yeah.
You got him. You know?
A shout out to my, it just reminds me, my first mentor and best friend that I had in the pool world, Kevin Spells, from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time together, had a lot of partners matches. And he was that guy who got me the mental toughness.
Really?
The mental toughness, and he named it forever, and I was never allowed to tell what it meant, but he called it the DMD.
The
he
DMD?
Goes, DMD. He called me Shorty. Shorty, Shorty, and then we both were wearing fishing hats. And anyway,
Both wearing fishing hats.
when we rolled around, he'd introduce when we walked into pool rooms that the hat squad has arrived. But anyway, in our own personal time,
That's hilarious.
He broke me down, man. He broke me down and taught me the game of one pocket, and he called it the DMD. The DMD.
What's that mean?
I vowed never to tell. There's
Really?
only a couple people.
Tony, you got to tell. You got to tell. It's been
Dude,
25 years. Tell us.
Well, the DMD involves when it's 8-0 or it's 7-0. I'm up. This is about kind of a situation about the DMD, and I'm in dead stroke, but I can freeze him on the back of a ball. That same just brutal step on his throat mentality. You kill your prey.
Yeah.
You don't let him get up and breathe because he's going to kill you.
Sure.
So you're up 8-0. You don't take that ball down the rail to win 9-0. You freeze him up, get ball in hand, run the 3 balls, 9-0 that way.
Sure.
So that whole thing is it's long. I mean, I had to hear about the DMD for 3 years. Every time I got in the car, you ready, Shorty? DMD time, baby. DMT or DMD. So he never told me what it meant.
Oh, what the
until
hell?
I was ready. This is like the sensei guy.
Yeah, it is.
So the day he said, Shorty, I think you're ready to know what the DMD is. And anyway, so we're driving down the road, and I was like, here it is, man. The
Sure.
secret of life is about, because we were pool players.
of course.
We're rolling around together, man.
Yeah.
The DMD is coming out.
So
I get
excited.
to know this. It's unbelievable. So he says, the DMD. I go, what is it, Kevin? What is it?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Exactly. What does it mean?
Dick him down. I couldn't believe it when he said that, bro. He says his DMD means dick him down, dude. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me. This is what you've been yelling at me in the pool room for 3 years? DMD. DMD. Put that DMD on him. But it became it became our,
it's your
the
mantra.
word. I was hypnotized.
Sure.
And, the go-to word where you start,
Yeah,
you're
the
just
DMD,
completely
we
tranced.
focus,
So the DMD was this word,
Dick
this
'em down.
powerful, what is it, an acronym?
Yeah, it's an
DMD?
acronym.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dick him down.
Dick
It was
down.
unbelievable, bro.
That's so
When
funny.
he gave me the DMD, and I had no idea. It
my
just
God.
meant to me that
Give him the DMD.
DMD.
Oh, that's awesome.
no idea what it meant for 3 years. And he goes,
Wow.
when you're ready, I'll tell you. And I'm just like,
Dick 'em
but
down.
he used that psychology to put me.
That's a great trick.
To put me into like the fight mode.
Sure, it's fantastic.
Fight mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
This
then
is
when he
like
told me
any-
what it meant, I couldn't stop laughing.
It's like any trainer. Well, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's hilarious. I could have thought of 100 different things you were going to say right there. The dick him down. But yeah, any good trainer finds ways to motivate you, and the
Dude,
way
it
it
was
could be
awesome.
anything. It could be dick him down. It could be keep these secrets, whatever. Create a space
Yep.
that feels special, and now you have someone's attention.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
It was crazy. He was crazy good friend, crazy good teacher, crazy good motivator.
That's awesome.
And I love the guy. Still, we don't talk enough.
Sure.
Maybe once a year, we'll ring each other and say, "What's up? How you doing?"
That's how it always is with people from back in the day. You're like, why don't I talk to that guy more? Why don't I talk to these people
Right.
I used to know? And you just don't. Why are we like that?
Why are we like that?
Because your relationships suffer, because of it. It's crazy.
Yep,
Yeah.
they sure do.
So no, man, I don't know.
And their other good coach is here. He's a local guy in town. He's a legend in the pool world. As far as I know, Dave Hughes, man. Dave Hughes.
I'm glad you brought up Dave because I don't know anything.
I traveled the road with him.
You traveled with him. Yeah, how was
said
that?
the right things. He just his philosophies and his philosophies about pool and knowledge were just exceeded anyone else that I knew, and he just knew how to put it in the coaching frame of mind or what to say to dial you in, just to tweak you a little bit more to get you playing better, I thought.
Awesome.
And he was a big part of me getting a lot better at pool too.
How long did you hang around with Dave?
Man, I can't really pinpoint it because I moved to Colorado. He's from Minnesota too. I never knew him back then.
Oh, weird.
But when we talk about old legends of Minnesota, he knew him,
knows
I knew him, but
everybody.
I never knew him.
Weird.
So I got here and he was, I think the first time I saw Dave he was rolling around with Kevin Satterfield
Oh,
and
yeah.
a couple other dudes down in Denver. And he's a pretty good player himself.
Yeah,
He's,
Dave plays. A lot
no
of
one
people
knows
don't
about
know that.
No one, yeah,
he plays
Dave
pretty good.
Dave can move that cue ball around.
he
He plays real good 8-ball.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we took a couple trips back to Minnesota, met my family, and so, you know, my parents knew I was traveling around the country playing pool, and I knew in the back of their mind they were a little worried about the shit that goes on in the pool room, and,
of course.
and they know I'm gambling.
Yep.
Because I told them that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And plus, not to bring up the gambling thing, but that's how you stay in stroke. You need to be in the ring like it's boxer. You don't
Exactly.
you don't hit the dummy bag or the speed bag,
Yep.
and then get in the ring and try to fuck somebody up.
Exactly.
You got to have somebody beat.
They
on
have
you.
a word, ring
You gotta have
rust.
someone beat
You
back
take
on
too
you.
much time off, you get ring rust. You
Right.
get the same in
Yeah.
pool. Take too much time off, your practice form can be great, and you'll jump in a
Money
match
just happens
and you'll
to be the thing
suck.
that we play for.
Yep.
It's just attempt like an immediate trophy.
Yeah, it's the
It's a
means.
one-on-one tournament, and that's the trophy on the light.
Yep.
Just like you play a 100-man tournament, at the end you get the first place trophy.
Yep,
Well, I'm
exactly.
playing a 2-man tournament, and the money just happens to be the trophy.
Exactly.
So who wants the trophy? Is the way
Yep.
I look at it. Who wants the fucking trophy?
No, it's true because you
not-
just spend the money.
What else? I mean,
Yeah.
if we both love bananas and we fucking had a banana company, how many bananas are we going to play for? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay, we got 18 crates of bananas. That's
Yeah.
our trophy. Well,
Sure.
I want that banana. I want the bananas. I want, whatever it is.
Tony,
But it just happens to be
I
fucking
want the bananas Piazza.
money. Saying you could put anything up there that makes you play better. It just happens to be money.
Sure. So your parents, I mean, did they give you a lot of grief? I know my parents kind of
Couldn't
did.
stand it, bro.
Yeah, my parents couldn't stand
No
it.
support
Yeah.
about the pool. My dad a little bit. Mom, care less. But
No, my mom, it was the other way
care less.
around.
They didn't. They thought it was a real bad road ahead of me.
Sure.
And I've questioned it over the years too.
Well,
Like,
you have to.
If I could have done something, I do it all the time actually.
When
But
you-
I had to stop beating myself up for it and
Exactly.
start enjoying pool again.
I don't know if it was you I was talking to, but it was somebody a couple days ago in the pool hall that if we'd have spent as much time doing anything else, we'd be phenomenal.
Top 2%.
Yeah,
Top 1% in the
top
world.
2 or 1% in the world of,
I'm
anything
so
else.
mad I didn't do golf, bro.
I know it's crazy
I mean,
because now
that's-
you do golf. and
I
you're-
love golf.
yeah.
That's the best.
Do you play tournaments in golf or anything?
I have never. I was about to say I've never played a singles tournament, which I haven't. I've never got my gin card. I've never got my handicap
Why
card.
not? Is it expensive?
Because there's so much.
or-
I just. It never came up. I don't know. I've thought about it, but I have 3 different groups I play with every week. They're old retired guys, or they still work and they got a ton of money and they love. They love the competitions, and
Sure.
I just love the aspects of the game. There's
Sure.
it's the true one game that there's no opponent.
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
just
fucking
you.
opponent.
Yeah, they
It's
can't
me.
even do anything to your
It's
ball
me
like
and
in pool.
But pool gave me a lot to get good at golf. Like, or not, I'm still learning golf. I'm
Yeah.
still trying to get better.
Yeah.
But I'm past my. If I could have started that when I started pool though, and saw the future, this guy Tiger Woods is going to come along, and
Yep.
you're going to be playing for $1 million every week.
Yep.
I'll sign up for that. Our U.S. Open is worth $50K
Sure.
for the best in the world.
I know.
Okay, it's $2 million in golf, and they play
crazy.
$1 million a week. We're playing for $1,000.
I know.
Tournament. So
I'll tell you, it's Matchroom just bought the U.S. Open, and I think for the first time in pool, I think we're going to see not the first time, but you're going to see a 6-figure prize pool for the U.S. Open, I think.
beautiful.
I know. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I hope it-
that's
I
why I
hope it
signed
takes
up.
off.
I know. When I
hope
heard
it takes
Matchroom bought the U.S. Open, I was like, fuck, I signed up. I was like, nope, we got to see it. I want to see it firsthand. Got to do it. Because I think that could really change the game.
For sure. Money always changes everything.
Exactly.
Sponsorships, dude.
Exactly.
It's just, same thing. Golf. They're Mercedes, BMW,
Gillette, yeah.
and golf balls, dude. Golf balls.
Golf balls.
You never run out of golf. It's the
Sure.
It's the biggest racket in the world. Golf balls,
You
bro.
lose them all the time.
$50 a box, and you have to.
Jesus.
You have to keep buying them, and you can't wait to buy them. I love new golf balls. It's like a toy. I love going to get my brand new Pro V ones.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, I got to.
They tell you what's inside them, and you're like, ooh, that is going to make me drive better. That is going to make me putt better.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's
What
crazy.
do they got in pool? Like that's equivalent to that.
Oh,
They
nothing.
don't.
Nothing.
Chalk.
Yeah.
Or
And they've tried. They've tried with chalk. They've tried with pool balls. They've tried with cue sticks forever. They try with tips, gloves, but none of it is so disposable as a golf ball.
exactly. And price pretty, it's priced pretty good, those golf balls.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. It's like when someone gives you golf balls as a gift, you're like, oh, thank you. Like you just saved me like $60 or whatever, It's
Pool's it's just so hard to bring into your living room and on a TV. It's so hard to connect, the viewers
exactly
to the game.
Well, that's
and
why
to
the
what the hell
Moscone
they're
Cup,
doing sometimes.
That's why the Moscone Cup is so important. It's the one time a year
that needs to be on ESPN when it's going, and it needs to be live.
Exactly.
And it needs to have, whatever, a couple of the mainstream announcers.
Yep.
And, one of what was it, the IPT?
The IPT, yeah.
Okay, I went out for that.
Okay,
That's a different,
everyone, man.
And the announcer for that IPT, I can't remember. I should Google it. But he's the head. Him and Harold Reynolds are on the MLB channel. David.
Oh, really?
Anyway, his voice is prevalent now. MLB, so like one of the main guys on MLB, and
wow.
he had a good announcer voice.
Sure.
You could tell he didn't have the knowledge on the pool game.
Well, of course, that takes forever.
Nobody has knowledge on the pool game as far as sports announcers go.
Sure, of course.
So what we need to do, I think, what the pool world needs to do. And I understand they've put women's pool and men's pool in the past on ESPN.
Yeah.
Not really prime time.
No.
But I'm talking about a prime. It's pool, but a prime time deal with the Moscone Cup.
Sure.
Not the U.S. Open.
No,
not
the
Reno
Moscone
Open,
Cup.
But the Moscone
it's
Cup.
Amazing.
Because it's Europe against. It's equivalent to the Ryder Cup. And,
it is. Yeah.
And it's intense. It's intense.
No, it's
so
only full time. Everyone yells. Yeah. Go on.
You got to get two good announcers, like the guy. I mean, there's an announcer from England that does darts.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah,
dude, it's like this. We're watching the Super Bowl.
It is. Yeah.
Oh my God, a triple 20! Like someone like that, fucking fire it up, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's shooting the 7-ball here. It looks like he's going to
I
play
hate
shape.
it.
Like, dude, fuck that.
Yeah, I hate it.
We got to figure out a way to relate and commentate it.
Sure.
And get it kind of
big time.
But
Absolutely.
it's hard.
It is hard.
It's not really.
You take the right guy or the right.
I mean, can
woman,
you imagine
whoever.
if they put a game of one pocket on there?
Oh, you can't.
On ESPN? I know people would be like,
yeah. People would be like, what the hell?
Right.
Yeah, it's insane.
There's no excitement.
And that's one thing.
Except for the people that are super nerds.
That's the
like
thing.
Us,
for the nerds.
Yeah. The super pool nerds.
Yeah. It's so exciting when you understand it. And so not exciting when you don't understand it. It's the craziest thing.
This is stupid.
This is so dumb.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He just moved the ball over there again?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but did you see how he set him up? Now he can't go up table. And you're like, that's pool's curse. Is that it's so hard
to get it to the viewers.
Yeah.
And to grip them.
Yep. And why is it taken off in Asia like that then? In Asia, they have a different perspective of like the
national sport, bro.
Well, true. And
national
the
sport.
minutia of the game is exciting.
Philippines, the Far East, it's one of their main and major sports.
It is, yeah. They say, I've never seen it, even though I've tried to get a picture of it. Efren Reyes' face apparently is in the Manila airport.
Dude.
That's crazy. I heard that if you're in Taipei, when a Taipei guy wins the world championships or something, he'll have a billboard on the highway.
That's awesome.
That's crazy,
Isn't that awesome?
Right? They said it's like pool in the NBA.
Yeah.
Or not NBA, they call it something else, but basketball.
Sure.
Are the biggest things. It's wild to think of. Yeah.
Even 60 Minutes, like the top 50 people in the world, like, gone, you know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Top 50 people that have ever lived in our world.
Okay.
And whatever.
Yeah, that have made an impact.
People.
Yeah.
Boom, there he was, man. Efren Reyes.
Efren
Reyes.
That's awesome.
I can't remember where he was. Fact check it. 40. He was in the 40, but he was there. And when
that's crazy.
Or whatever show did it.
He's awesome, man.
Because he's humanitarian.
Efren's a folk hero.
A humanitarian.
He's like a mythical
and he's
guy.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he's Michael Jordan of pool.
Michael Jordan of pool, and just he don't make a lot of money playing pool.
No,
but he gives his money away.
I heard that. He said he's giving like 80% of his money
Feeds
away.
people, man.
That's crazy.
It's the greatest thing I think.
What a dude
that we can do as humans is when we get to a spot where we're comfortable is feed people and charity work.
And he's that good, and he's not an asshole. Everyone likes
greatest.
him. Yeah. But
such a cool dude. Met him a few times.
I've met him a couple times. Yeah. Super nice guy. Goofy. Kind of a goofy.
Yeah.
And
you're like, want to play a $20 set? Yeah.
Sure.
At Hard Times, LA.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome. Hey guys, sorry. Had to insert a quick edit in here. I had some extenuating circumstances. I had to cut that episode short. So Tony had to get out of here, and I got a sick girlfriend. Came home. So we're actually going to break this up into 2 episodes. And the next one, the next thing me and Tony were going to get into was some awesome gambling stories and just traveling stories and things like that he had. So we're just going to make the next episode pool stories with Tony Piazza. We're going to do it here in a couple weeks. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. And thank all you guys very much. We'll talk to you soon.